What's going on, guys? Mega Gig back with another video addressing some of the recent changes added to the new patch 2.6.1. There have been some more changes added, and these are welcome changes because in all the videos that I've done so far, especially with the Barbarian, and actually really all the videos I've done so far pertaining to this patch with the Barbarian or other classes, is I gripe about the fact that we don't have any toughness buffs, and we're getting all damage buffs. Now that is beginning to be addressed. I don't know if they're going to go any further than this or not. We're going to talk about the Barbarian right now. Now I don't know if I'm going to make a video. I'm not going to redo the build videos that I've done. I've got the Hoda Hammer the Ancients build equipped here. I'm not going to redo all the build videos because those haven't actually changed. I'm just going to do some fairly quick videos to address the changes to the gear with each update in the patch, so the videos won't be very long. I don't want to just spam out videos. That's kind of why I never really made videos on the PTR in the first place, but I've kind of warmed up to it, kind of, sort of, in a way. Anyways, let's go over the changes. I've got the website up here. First off, of course I don't have it in the video, the Battle Rage has actually been changed a little bit. I guess there was a bug where the bloodshed damage from critical hits wasn't proccing correctly, and so now it is. I don't know if that's a buff or if it'll translate into a buff. I haven't gotten to test it a whole lot yet. And then for the items that have been changed, Band of Might was between, what was it? It was between 50 and 60%. Now they've boosted that all the way up to 80% damage reduction after casting Furious Charge, Ground Stomp, or Leap. So this is going to make Leap Quake a lot more tanky. This is going to make Charge Barb more tanky, which Charge Barb really, really needs it. And this is going to make our Hammer the Ancients build more tanky. And I'll give a demonstration of like our toughness after we go over some of the other changes. And speaking of other changes, the Gavel of Judgment was buffed again. It can now roll, it was between 400% and 500% was the newest, and now it's 600% to 800%. So unless you get a really good roll on this, more than likely you want to put this in the cube anyways. As somebody pointed out on my previous Hammer the Ancients build, running Istvan's weapons here allow you to do a lot more damage in this build. You attack a lot faster, and then you also gain that little armor boost as well. So these are great weapons on this build, and then just cube the Gavel of Judgment. And then the other change, Bracers of the First Men have been changed. They were, the original was 150 to 200%, then it was 300 to 400%. Now it says in the patch notes 400 to 500%. However, in game it says 375 to 500%. I don't know if that's a typo on the patch notes, or I don't know if it's just not implemented in the game correctly. I thought maybe because these were the first ones that I had on that maybe they didn't change, but I actually did get some over here. I'm out of blood shards to get another pack, but it rolled with 376%. So as of right now, it can roll up to 500%. But that's basically the changes with the Barbarian. What was it? There was something else. The Gavel of Judgment existed in versions of this item. No. The legendary power on this item is currently not functioning. This will be fixed in an upcoming patch. That's been crossed out. So the legendary power on this item, I don't know if it means this actual passive, I guess it does, wasn't previously working, and so now it is. That's what it sounds like. The legendary power on this item is not currently functioning. Will be fixed in an upcoming patch, and that's crossed out, so it has been fixed. So I'm guessing maybe they just went ahead and buffed it up stronger anyways. I'm not entirely sure. But we're not going to do any greater rift runs or anything with this, but we are going to go out here. We're on T13, and I just want to show you guys our toughness once we get everything going. So let's get Oh, and actually, that is another tip somebody suggested to me. I wonder if I can go ahead and move that. I can't. Alright, just a couple of seconds to actually put Hammer of the Ancients on your right click, and then you can move around. We'll just go with impunity. There it is. And then you can cast Hammer of the Ancients moving around and whatnot. Alright, so we've got our buffs up. And of course we're wearing the Endless Walk set, so you can see our toughness going up. And then when we charge, boom, lots and lots and lots of toughness. And then as we move, we're keeping our toughness up. Charge again. And yeah, we're at almost 1.5 billion toughness. Now when you get your stacks of your Rampage stacks, and you've got everything up, yeah, and you're moving. Now of course our toughness will drop because we're using the Endless Walk set, so whenever you stand still your toughness will drop, but of course you'll be doing more damage. This does allow for a lot more toughness and is probably going to allow for a lot higher greater rift clears. Between that and the Gavel of Judgment being buffed, I think this build is indeed going to make a comeback. We haven't really had any toughness buffs added to the Whirlwind set. Let me equip it here. Oh, something's on cooldown. There we go. At fully maxed and spinning and everything, this build gives me about 550 million toughness, which is pretty good. But now when you start comparing it to these other builds, that you're going to be anywhere from 800 million to all the way up to 1.3, 4, and 5 trillion, or billion rather. Trillion, holy crap. It's actually kind of a weak build now, and as I've been pushing higher and higher with this build, and I've done a 96 now with the Whirlwind build, you find out really quick that 500 and something toughness, 500 something million toughness is really not a lot when you really get to the hires. I noticed when I started getting to the mid 90s that you know, things like Dark Berserkers can end you very quickly. The grotesques, just one of them, a white mob, just one grotesque exploding can end your life very quickly with all of your buffs up. So hopefully maybe the Whirlwind buff, or the Whirlwind set will maybe get a slight toughness boost to it as well. It's not super needed. It's not super dire. But when you start comparing the toughness now to the other barbarian builds, it is kind of lacking. Now I don't know if they want everything to be even across the board, or if they just want things to be comparable. It's kind of hard to discern. Something else that someone else brought up the other day that they'd like to see addressed in this patch before it goes live, which I would too, is the Rampage stacks. It would be nice if it would stack on hitting something rather than killing something, because it's really completely useless on a Rift Guardian unless you have a Rift Guardian that's spawning a lot of stuff. And I've also found now with the buffs we've gotten and as strong as we are, and with the change to Battle Rage Bloodshed, you kill whites so quickly now that you get to your 25 Rampage stacks really fast, which is nice, but you run out of whites to kill fast enough where if you're on an elite pack that this drops off. And so if that's not addressed, if Rampage doesn't start adding either on hit, or not adding on hit, but keeping the stacks on hit while you're in combat, or if maybe they change it to where it's, you know, just while in combat, or maybe extend the duration. If something with that doesn't get addressed, you might actually see Rampage start falling out of the build in favor for something like Brawler. I can't say for sure. It's just speculation. It's just something that somebody brought up, and that I've kind of wanted addressed myself. So we will see, guys. We will see. But those are the changes to the Barbarian anyways. There were a couple other changes in the patch as well that's been added. I may just start doing patch update videos where I just really quickly go over all the changes they've done and just show the website and discuss it rather than showing in-game stuff. Main reason I wanted to do this was to show the toughness with the toughness change with Band of Might. I couldn't think of the name of it. Yeah, the toughness change with Band of Might. I don't remember what the toughness actually was on this build previously when we were doing it, but that 20% is quite a big difference, and I expect the charge barb also to be quite a bit tougher now, and I'd say more popular. It was always a very popular build anyways. People just didn't like the toughness. And I did a video where I did just a full Raycore set and showing how you can get some toughness in there in that. So the combo build of this, where it's 4 pieces and 6 pieces of various sets, this and the Immortal King set, depending on which version you're doing, as long as you work the Band of Might in there somewhere, you will definitely be adding toughness in there. So the toughness that I was complaining about on all the different builds is slowly being addressed, and yeah, so this patch may end up being, you know, it's already been very popular because of the damage buffs, and now they're actually going in and buffing toughness in areas too, and they're changing balances. And so, you know, people looked at the patch at very first and thought, oh, it's just a big giant power creep, but they're really starting to address other aspects now, and this patch could bring a lot of old players back, I think, if they hear about the balance changes and they truly end up in balance changes. And this is going to open up a wide range of different builds that we're seeing, probably in multiplayer as well. And yeah, because it's kind of shaking up the meta. It's allowing people to use more builds and be effective. And so it's very, very welcome, all these changes. And I look forward to see what else they continue to do, guys. Let me know what you guys think of these changes. I don't think anything else has been changed right now. I looked over the notes 2 or 3 times. None of the set items have been changed right now. Again, with the Whirlwind build, it did get the huge buff on the damage, and they did change the Rend thing. Rend itself doesn't really do a lot of damage, though. I've been testing it, and I've still had better luck pushing higher without it, honestly, guys. So Rend could still use a rework in some way. I don't know, just a straight damage buff is enough. Maybe get all runes, something like that. It would also be nice if, I don't know. There's a lot of little things they could try, and I think things that they should try and should address while it's on the PTR. And you know, it is a PTR, so if something gets too powerful, just roll it back some. It's not a big deal. At least it doesn't seem like it, in my opinion. We'll see what they do. But yeah, guys, I'd like to see a little more toughness added into the Whirlwind build as well. You can argue that you know, you could use Parthan Defenders instead of Nemesis Bracers, but you don't really have a stun unless you roll chance to stun as a secondary on your items, on some of your items. So I've never really been a big fan of those. I still think these work best for the Whirlwind build. Just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think of all these different changes, and stay tuned for more changes, guys. Thanks for watching, and more good stuff to come. Take care.